Have you ever failed at anything?
A lot. Oh, I have been burnt.
What did you learn from your failures?
That having money is not enough. You also need to pray to have good employees because you can't do it by yourself. Yeah. Currently and over the years, I've ensured that my businesses are dependent on each other.
Okay.
Because, when you have a business, it's not every time you make money from that business.
Can you say that again? Because some people haven't heard that. It's not every time you make money.
Every time you make money.
Yeah.
There are months that you don't make money at all. Thank God for the solutions, that we have. So it's either we're making money or we're getting visibility and chasing opportunities to now make money. So each business is dependent on the business. If the academy is not making money, because we have students in batches, right? The hostel is making money. The hostel is not making money. The media is making money. The media is not making money. The award is making money. If that's not making money, then the investment is making money.
Okay. Good, I don't know if it's afternoon or morning, but hey, welcome to The Builders, which is Nidacity's podcast. Nigerian audacity, the people who have the risk-taking audacity and appetite to make money in Nigeria. Today, I guess, I don't even know where to start with her. She's one of those people that, Nigeria just produces in abundance, that have this capacity to have about 10 balls in the air at once. She's into fashion. She has a fashion academy. She's into media. She has awards. She's into real estate. She's into investment. Her name is Princess Kelechi Oghene. Princess is her name. Princess is her name. Welcome to The Builders.
Thank you so much.
Okay. So I love the way she's just sitting so calmly, like, this is right. So let's get into it because you do a lot of things and your group has more than 100 staff across Nigeria. I know she doesn't look like it, right? She's kind of gentle, but hey, let's go. How did we get here? Where did this story start?
Thank you so much for having me.
It's a pleasure.
Where did the story start? Started from the house. I always give the credit to God and then also my late mom. She was a serial entrepreneur. And, just like everybody know, I love to learn. There's no year that I don't go for a course. I'm currently, studying law, international business law with SS University, and then also my DBA in view. So she's someone that growing up saw her do ICANN. She was with Power Holding, then NEPA. She had a supermarket. She was
one of those.
Yeah, she's one of those people. So you have to go to school, but you must learn trade. Like you need to just be an entrepreneur. So you started from the house.
Right. Yeah. And so you went to school. You studied industrial.
Yes, my first degree was industrial relations and personnel management. So I can communicate from a staff perspective and also management perspective. With training over the years.
So you graduated, and then I presume you did some kind of youth service at some point.
Yes.
But you've never worked for anybody. This was an intriguing conversation I had with you. You've never collected a salary.
Okay. Not worked for anybody, but also I used to be one of the Delta Soap girls.
Of course. You were a model, right?
9 years.
9 years for Delta Soap.
For Delta Soap on Billboard, one of the 4 girls. So, so I think that's the only time anybody have
paid you money.
Paid me.
So you then took that money and what was next after Delta Soap?
So I had my business. That was just something I was doing on the side.
So you've always had a business?
I've always had my business.
What was the first business you ever did?
I used to sell jewelry. Okay. I'll go to Idumota.
Okay. No, that's good. Keep going.
Even though I don't like talking about, this part.
Why? So let me stop you there. Why don't people like talking about the struggle part of business?
No, so I love to talk about the struggle part of the business, but I just believe that there is so much more in the business itself, especially, creating sustainability and scaling and all of that.
But you can only do that if you've done the struggle part.
That's true.
You see, I think this is one of the reasons why I started Nidacity, because I felt there was this gap. People weren't telling their stories. And when they were telling them, they weren't telling them honestly.
Yes.
So we want to know where you start. I want to know the first 100 naira or the first 500 naira you ever made.
So again, I've tried. I remember also doing that a couple of times, and then people will be like, "Oh, you're lying. oh no, you just want to make us feel like, we're on the same
but
level.
it's
I'm like,
true.
okay, so there's no need.
No,
there's no
please,
need
please. There
impressing
is
people. Let me
absolute-
focus on my growth.
No,
Focus on my structuring
There
and
is
all
an
of that.
absolute need, because right now in Nigeria, there are some young people that are sitting there and they've got nothing. And they're looking at this country thinking, do I have a hope? Do I have a future? Do I have a chance of making it? And then when they hear from you that maybe you took one little money and went to Dumata, you bought jewelry, no one knew it was from Dumata, you sold it,
yes,
you
of
hustled,
course.
you went back again.
Yeah.
They are inspired. So please do tell us that story.
Okay, so I would go to Itumota, buy some jewelries, and I would go to my mom's office again, to sell after school. Then I was in a computer school around Ikeja.
Okay.
So I would go to her office, sell, and then there are some offices around there as well. The banks, I will also go there, sell. And then it got to a point where they started owing me. I think I've also told the story a couple of times, where they started owing me, even after month end, right? And that was when I decided it was time for me to have a shop.
Okay.
So my first shop was at Ojomo Supermarket.
Okay.
By Alpha Beach, but now it's like a complex. They've renovated the whole thing.
Were you selling just jewelry or many others?
No, just jewelry.
Okay.
And then so I even stopped the jewelry business
Right.
and decided that I was going to go into clothing.
Right.
So I would still go to Balogun Market, buy the outfits from them, and then go stock up the shop. And then from there I moved to Ikotak Shopping Complex. One small shop grew into two shops, and then we moved up front, to the roadside, and then Lekki Phase 1, where we started a bespoke outfit, and then foundation, then academy.
Fantastic. That's a good trajectory, because, we can see your progress from at every stage.
Yes.
So when you started out, young entrepreneur, out of school, did you have a vision for what you're doing now? Or has it just evolved?
It has evolved over the years.
Right.
Yes, it has evolved. So every stage have its own requirements, its own responsibilities, and then I just naturally just move with the flow.
Right.
And then also whatever solution that I try to also bet, I ensure that it's tailored around what people are demanding. So I'm always business oriented. Like, okay, how do I make money from this thing? Are people willing to pay for this particular thing? And then I drive it or run with it, and then that's how I was able to
So let's talk about the Fashion Academy, because you have an alumni of 12,000 people that have gone through your academy. You've even written books on the enterprise side of fashion. How did that come about? How did you get into that?
So when I had the bespoke business, I remembered I had a lot of challenges. In fact, that was why I ran to LBS. Because I had the experience, I had the employees, I had the resources, but we were working nonstop. So now I still work, like I really work, but I'm seeing results, right? Then I would work, we're doing overnights, we're not even getting paid as much as, the effort that we're putting in. And but nothing was just coming out of it.
Right.
The stress was too much, and it got to a point where I realized that even the employees then, they were not ready to grow with me. Right? Because, it got to a point while searching for help, I discovered knowledge, to solve the problems that I had. I got a good number of trainings. I got mentors that would also come take me on, intimate sessions or master classes and all of that. I got a lot of coaches. I signed up, I was just helpless looking for help. And then when I gained a lot of knowledge, on how to navigate these things, I would introduce it to the company, and then my staff would be like, no, madam, we don't understand. This is not possible. You're witch hunting us. They just, I had people that have been with me for like 9 years, and then they were not ready to grow. They were not seeing the bigger picture. They were not ready for documentation. They were not ready. In fact, you're bringing people, experts to come and assist us, with structure and all of that. And they'll be like, no, so we did one for here. You can't. So they were frustrating, like the experts I was bringing in, It got to a point where I decided it was either them or me. But bottom line was I saw that yes, they had the skill, they had talent, but they were not ready to learn. They were not ready to refine their talent.
Right.
They were not ready to just grow. So I decided, okay, a lot of designers or a lot of tailors or a lot of skilled people in the fashion space are like that, because even the ones that we train or the new ones that we recruit, we kept having the same problem. So I'm like, okay, it's about time we start doing this thing right, because we would go as business owners, refine our skill, go gain knowledge and all of that. But when we come back to transfer that or to even implement it in the organization, it becomes too chaotic. So I decided, okay, it's time for us to start reorientating the mindset of, each and every one of the lower level,
right.
yes. And that was what bettered the fashion.
And so people then, the Fashion Academy then took off. And so most of the clients, were they sponsored by their parents? Were they sponsored by their employers? What was the makeup?
Yes, we have a lot of people that, sponsor their word. We have couples also come. We have people sponsoring their children. We have different people. At a point, we actually had from 16 to 65 years.
Wow.
Yes, of age in the school.
And how long are the courses on average?
We have 1 year, and we also have 24 months.
Right. Okay.
Fashion for me is actually minimum 4 years. But that's another thing. We're also struggling with having people learn, people stay back, to learn. They just want to come, cut and sew, and that's like another challenges again. So you have half-baked people. So even the talented people that I saw, over time, because whatever they are also having is just in their head, they are not able to transfer. They are not willing to also transfer that knowledge. So I was having a lot of issues, so not just the structuring and all of that, but I couldn't instill discipline because they would threaten they want to leave. And so you're misbehaving, you're stealing, you're doing your own job, like I caught them doing like a lot of things. And then because they've been with me or because I know that this particular person is skilled, I'm like, okay, let me just tolerate. And, but, with the trainings I have gotten over time, it was time for them to go, and it was time for me to also, having benefited from the whole experience and the knowledge I have gained, that we start not just orientating people, but also training more people to also champion it, those with capacity. Yes.
So 12,000 people who've passed through. Do you see, I'm sure you don't want to give them a free plug, but are there big names?
Yes. Yes.
How many years has the Academy been running?
Over a decade as well.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Over a decade as well.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. And you've seen people come through, raw material, don't know anything about fashion and then go out.
Yes. Majority of them, when they come, they don't have any fashion skill. So unlike when we started then, we would usually just do 3 months, 6 months, right? But now minimum is 1 year so that they can learn both the creative and the business side of fashion, So, and that's a lot. That's actually doing it right, doing it right for us. A lot of them have, again, like I mentioned, started their businesses, also have, fashion schools
of their own,
and then also graduated like a lot of fashion students as well. So I have baby alumni everywhere.
Right. Right. And how did you learn?
Aside the experience, that I got from my own employees, and also during the time I was running the bespoke business, I actually started from the house.
Okay.
So again, you're making me remember.
Yeah,
this.
I want you to remember the past so we can go forward.
Okay, so growing up, we never had, we're not allowed to have friends. Like I never knew my mom. And so it's the same thing. I don't have any friend, right? Wow. I'm always working or business. So I have like people that I have business, relationship with, but you can't see me sit down and just hanging if there's no, So it was how I was brought up.
Right.
So after school, my mom would say, go learn fashion. The graphics, design, magazines and all of that we do today, it's from the house. I remember when I started my boutique business, I used to do my flyers by myself, and over the years that I've also, worked with a lot of young talent, I'm able to identify spots and say, okay, you're doing this right, you're not doing this design right and all of that, it's from all those trainings that I've gotten over the years. So after school, I would go learn fashion, and then after school, I would go learn graphics design, which is a computer school I mentioned. So it started from the house.
From the house.
Yeah, from the house.
And you
and
kept
then my
it going
mom was
all
also
through.
a seamstress.
Your mum was a seamstress?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes. She was a designer. I remember
Plus supermarket, plus working for NEPA, plus... Right. Okay, I can see where I can see where the apple hasn't fallen too far from the tree.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yes. I'm just like an advanced version of my mom.
Of your mum.
You see how you see me.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
But she's late now, though.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, yes.
But she'll be proud of you.
Yes.
Got to be proud of you.
Oh, yes. Definitely.
How much of your success did she see before?
None.
Oh.
Really, yeah. She just saw the struggling part.
Right.
Oh, yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm sure she knew.
Yes,
Mothers
of course, she knew.
Mothers know these things.
Oh, yeah, she knew. Because, going to her office then to sell, those jewellery and all of that. Yeah, she saw all that. And that's the thing. So she tell you don't know what the life or the future holds. You don't know what your life would be. So you need to have the education and then you need to have the skill. Same thing with my siblings. Mine is even good. My elder sister, she did catering, she did hairdressing, she did almost like 10 different skill. The boys, they also did learn fashion, how to go make suits. And then, of course, you have to graduate as well. So you have to go to school.
Yeah.
So it's just something that she did. And I thank God today because none of us is dependent on, on each other. Everybody's just busy
on their own and doing their thing.
Yes.
How important is it for young people? Because you talked about raw talent and then adding this training, this knowledge to it. I'm hearing that consistently in what you say. Yeah. How important is that?
It's very important. So it's so important. I actually championed one of the Garwood and Business Summit theme was the talent was not enough, right? So yes, the talent, just like I said, I've worked with a lot of creatives, right? The talent, use Michael Jackson, for instance, right? Imagine he had the talent, but even years after, the legacy is still there. Use footballers, you have the talent, but you have to play, you have to train, you have to do all of that.
You have to do the work.
Yes, you have to do the work. And then you need a coach, you need to report to someone, you need someone to hold you accountable. A lot of talented, people, they don't believe that they need to be accountable. Yeah. They don't believe that they even need to refine their skill. They don't believe they need to work hard. They just believe that them having it is enough.
Yeah.
And so again, over the years, I've also seen two kind of people, right? The ones that are willing to grow, the ones are willing to learn, the ones that are trainable, and the ones that are not trainable.
Right.
A lot of the talented people, especially in the fashion space, they are not trainable.
Okay.
So you hear people say, "Oh, I've been in the industry for like 20 years. Waiting, you won't teach me." Things like that. So regardless of your exposure, your education and all of that, they just see you and they be like, "Oh, I can sew." And that's all that matters, right? They don't believe they need to even transfer. So they're also scared of transferring knowledge because they don't want another person, to know what they know.
Right.
And then at the end of the day, they hold the organization, hostage. And those are like a lot of challenges that are also faced, whilst running the bespoke business. So talent is not enough. You need to balance it. You need to refine it. I'm a practical example of that. Yes, I'm constantly learning. And each time I learn, I immediately implement and I see how the organization is, not just running smoothly. We still have challenges here and there because we're still creating SOPs and all of that. But you see that it's easy for us to scale, and then we're able to also move past the founder dependency. A lot of talented people would not have you move past that stage. They don't want to have people come in or the expert, like I mentioned, come in to guide them or put in structure or whatever. They believe that, you have to report to them or they report to just the boss. And, so there's a lot of knowledge gap and then they're also not willing to learn. So yeah, talent is not enough.
But you've navigated it, right? Because you've done the fashion business, you've got real estate, you've got media, you've got an awards night.
Yes.
So tell me, what's your secret? How have you been able to navigate that resistance, for want of a better description, to change? How have you been able to achieve all that you've achieved? What's your superpower in business?
My superpower in business is I don't shy away from solving problem.
Okay.
I remember some of my employees then would say, "Madam, they use eye, they look for problems." Yeah.
But where there's problem, that's where the money's to be made,
That's where
right?
the money's to be made. Solving the problem.
Yeah.
Solving the problem.
Solving people's problems makes money.
Looking for. In fact, I developed So we practice an action learning system in our organization. So the formula that we use today is actually bettered by our challenges again.
Okay.
So everything that we're doing, there has to be problem identification, and then we collect data, then look at the root cause, look at the responsible party, to hold the responsible party accountable, and then we set a SMART goal, do a reflection, and then key result, another reflection, and then set another SMART goal.
So give me an example of a problem. What's the most recent problem you've identified, and how did you go about solving it?
A lot of problems.
Okay, give us one. Just teach us. Give us some free teaching.
Okay, so let me start with the Fashion Academy.
Yeah,
like I mentioned, the gap that I saw in the industry, that was holding me back.
Right.
And of course, holding a lot of people, a lot of fashionpreneurs back is, one problem I needed to solve. And now a lot of people are paying just to come learn how I'm doing it.
Right.
To come learn how to do it right before they even start. So that's a problem I identified, and that is something that I've generated revenue for me. Another one again was the accommodation problem, right? So I needed to solve that problem, and now generating revenue.
A business.
Business.
And
yes.
this was the problem of your people coming from abroad for training and with nowhere to stay.
Yes, having nowhere to stay.
So you created hostels.
I created the hostel apartment, yes.
Are you spread? Do you find, your spread is wide? How do you keep all these businesses?
SOPs.
Right.
SOPs. So unlike before that I would just want to talk and preach and tell my employees buy into my vision, I invest my time now in creating SOPs. So this is how I want you to do it. Standard operating procedures. So this is how I want you to do it. Just follow the SOPs. The same thing I do with the policies for the students. We have a lot of policies, right? So if you want to know anything about the school, refer the policy. If you want to do anything, refer the policy. And so another thing I also see is majority of us have, so startups, SMEs, we have documents, but we don't implement it.
Right.
So I'm one person that implemented. So whatever you do, there are appraisals, there are consequences, everything is just tied to, the same documents. That's how I'm able to scale. That's how I'm able to survive entrepreneurship.
I like the way you said survive.
Oh yes, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. I mean, I was up all night, addressing a case. One of the challenges, employee problem again, but at the end of the day, what we're doing is referencing. So there's no emotions in it. Referencing the policy, referencing, the offer letter, referencing our code of conduct, referencing all of that. So I'm able to survive or able to scale, able to stay sane, because of the policies and systems that we are putting in place. Because we're not yet there, but we've done a good job. Yes.
Okay. Now your awards, you have a GAH.
Yes, GAH award.
Right, awards, and that's been going for
13 years. So this year is the 14th.
What was the idea behind that? What made you want to do that?
So that's another problem I also.
It was a problem. Why did I ask and answer? I know the answer. Okay.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Tell us
so
the
it's
problem.
similar to what you said.
Right.
A lot of people actually want to be seen. So I felt that I had done the work. I had done the work because I had done the work. I love to work. But each time I, reach out to people, they would say, oh, no, you're not a celebrity. You have to do this. You have to probably even pay and do all of that before, you can receive the award or, things like that.
You can be recognized.
You can be recognized.
Yeah.
So because I was also experiencing it, I decided, okay, it was time. A lot of people are going through this. So it was time for me to also, create my own platform to start recognizing those that are deserving of it. And then again, I also needed to expand my network.
Okay.
Right? So I'm constantly working as well. I'm always working. So I decided, another idea was, so that I can have, because I don't have friends.
Okay.
So that I can invite people. to network with,
Right.
so, and of course, if you have to bring people out,
Yeah.
you have to give them something.
Yeah.
So we decided to create like tiers because, even hosting their award is a lot of money. So we decided to do it right? Create tiers, other offerings, we have a lot of offerings
Right.
actually, tables and all of that, positioning their businesses. So, and then I also use the same platform to position even my business.
Your own business,
Yeah. So
right.
networking, collaboration, having investors, visibility. So that was a problem I was having. I needed people in my space. I needed to be recognized. So I decided to create the platform
For yourself.
for people.
And carry some people
And
along
carry
with
people
you.
along, yes,
Fantastic.
yes.
So, have you ever failed at anything?
A lot. Oh, I have been burnt.
Really?
Oh, yes, I have been burnt a lot of times.
Talk to me.
I've been burnt. Okay. Actually had
What did you learn from your failures?
that having money is not enough. You also need to pray to have good employees because you can't do it by yourself. Yes, you can't do it by yourself. You must have people that would align to your vision, because I've tried restaurant. I had a salon. I had the best kits, the whole fine everything. But at the end of the day, it was bad.
Yeah.
And that was another problem I wanted to solve.
Okay.
So again, starting a business because you have capacity or because you like it
Yeah.
or because you think it's a problem.
Yeah.
Without really collating data is also not enough.
Yeah.
When you also start that business and you don't test the market and you invest a lot without testing the market and seeing or getting feedback from the customers, if they're interested in paying for your solution, then the experience will tell you what's up.
You're lecturing me.
Sorry.
You've read my stories of failures. Gosh, if I tell you my stories. No, because and again, I like the honesty because I feel that we need to also talk about failure. You cannot talk about success as an entrepreneur without talking about failure.
Of course.
And any entrepreneur that hasn't failed, honestly, I think they're just they're suspects.
Oh yeah.
Their story is suspect. I'm not quite sure because the truth is you learn more from your failures, than you learn from your successes.
Yes.
You learn what does not work. So there are some things like just tell me, why did you say two things? It's not for me because I've learned from
you have foresight from the challenges. It's like so when the adage they say when you're sitting down, what you see, the child that is on the tree cannot see it. So you come and then you're saying something before you even finish. And I'm like, this won't work. This won't work. This won't work. And so I also pride on the fact that every system and structure I have put in place is not just one, like all this, the tools that is everywhere. It's actually born out of experience. Out of experience and challenges.
Do you keep a diary?
Oh, yes.
You see, I knew you did. Something just said, this is somebody that diarizes everything.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Right.
Oh, yes.
So you keep your records, so that's why you've...
Oh, yes. Yes.
How important has that been to you? Do you look back on things?
Yes, I do a lot of reflection.
Right.
It's a culture. It's part of our structure. We must always reflect. Otherwise, so we must reflect and we must measure. So you set a goal, right? Anything that cannot be measured is void. You have to set a goal and, have an expected outcome. And then you measure if you're doing it right, if you're not doing it right, if you're failing, if you're not failing, or if you're even making progress or not, if you need to even improve on it, if you need to change strategy, right? So I always do that. And then reflection, oh my God. We reflect a lot. We reflect over here a lot.
And your low moments or your high moments, when is your best reflection? When you've just succeeded or when things have not gone well?
When things have not gone well.
Really?
Oh, yes.
Right.
When things have not gone well. And when things are also going well. Because I need to know what I have done right that, gave me this key result so that we can
do more of it.
Mm-hmm. And then why is this happening? Why is this happening consistently? Okay, what do we do? Am I the problem? Is it a system problem? Is it a knowledge gap problem? Is it a staff problem? So yes, there's a lot of reflection. It's part of our daily conversations. There has to be reflection. Yes.
I think being an entrepreneur, and maybe somebody like you that has multiple entrepreneurs, how do you find that time? Because sometimes you're busy.
Yes.
When do you steal the time to just sit and reflect?
So that's a deep question. But I think what has helped me is the constant learning.
Okay.
The constant learning.
Okay.
So learning is like my safe space.
Okay.
Once I start becoming overwhelmed, I run to
Go learn something.
Yes, to go learn something. Another course, read books, write, so probably write an article or a journal article or just write. So that's like my safe space. And do a lot of research. So I do a lot of research.
Okay.
I do a lot of research.
Really?
Oh, I'm wowed. I'm blown away with what I saw.
We do a lot of research. So the reason why we do so much research is that I think that there's so many podcasts that just ask people, okay, what's your story? How did you get here? But I always want to be able to ask like really deep questions. And to do that, I need to understand you. I need to understand what the why of Princess. Why is Princess? Why have you been able to train 12,000 fashion entrepreneurs? What's your why? So that's why, for us, research is
critical. If you don't have data, you can communicate from an informed place. So you need data to function. When we came in, I was telling my my assistant, they said, can you see data? That's data. Research is good. If you're having challenges as well, like I would tell my people, stop depending on someone for information. You can actually do research. There are a lot of people that have gone ahead of us, faced same challenges, navigated those challenges and also succeeded. So there is nothing. I tell people, if you want to learn how to cook ogbono soup, it's online. There's no excuse, right? So you just have to do the work. You just have to do the work. Just do some research and, you'll be unstoppable.
So that leads us to something that we're very passionate about in Nidacity, which is your numbers, really, knowing your business numbers, not doing business on a hunch. It's tied to this data, So do you do your accounts every month? You look at them?
Yes.
You look at the numbers?
Oh, yes.
Really? In detail?
Oh, yes. In detail.
And make decisions based on them?
Yes. Make decisions based on them. And that is why I'm also not a fan of taking loan to start a business.
Okay.
Right? So currently and over the years, I've ensured that my businesses are, dependent on each other.
Okay.
Because, when you have a business, it's not every time you make money from that business. There's some downtime.
Can you say that again? Because some people haven't heard that. It's not every time you make money.
Every time you make money.
Yeah.
There are months that you don't make money at all. So thank God for the solutions, that we have. So it's either we're making money or we're getting visibility and chasing opportunities to now make money. So each business is dependent on the business. If the academy is not making money, because we have students in batches, right? The hostel is making money. If the hostel is not making money, the media is making money. If the media is not making money, the award is making money. If that's not making money, then the investment is making money.
Okay. But something has to be making money.
Something has to be making money.
And you need to know which one it is.
And you need to know which one it is.
Right.
And then so you give loan to your companies, the sister company, and then you also pay back, where necessary. Yes.
Right. So do you employ an accountant? Do you do it yourself?
Yes, I have an accountant. But when I started, of course, I was the accountant, the driver, everything.
That's how it rolls.
Yes.
And I think it's very encouraging for people to hear this from you. You've been in business for so long.
Yes.
Hearing you say that it's not every time in business that you make money, because I think that when people go through those lean periods, they need that encouragement to hear.
Yeah, sometimes I also loan some of the company money because I'm different from the company.
Yeah.
There are sometimes I loan my company money and I tell them, pay me my money back. So yes, business is not easy, especially in Nigeria. We're talking, diesel alone, the cost of diesel is crazy. And then how about salary? You have people you have to pay. Whether you don't make money or not, you just have to pay. So
it's interesting you should say that. See, I I mean, I'm very much with Nidacity on the side of the entrepreneur. I think the entrepreneurs in Nigeria need a lot more sympathy and support because the responsibility of paying
It's
salaries
high.
is
Oh, yes.
huge.
It's huge.
And many entrepreneurs are not paying themselves.
Yes.
That's what people don't realize.
Yes.
That a lot of the time,
Yes.
the entrepreneur is the last person.
Yes.
If there's money left, then the business
Then
owner
the
takes
business,
money.
yes.
And that's why
When I
it's so
started,
painful
yes.
sometimes when staff don't appreciate or staff steal because they don't realize.
Yes, but I think I've solved that problem.
Good.
Oh,
Talk
yes.
to us.
To an extent, I've solved that problem. So I pay myself. It's very important that I pay myself because I do the work.
Good.
Right? I pay myself salary, so I don't have to be dependent on, or just, going into the company account because I feel entitled, and all of that. I pay myself just like I pay every other staff. Now, for the salary, it's a culture. What you put in is what you get out.
Okay.
You cannot be paid just by giving activities or coming to the office to breathe the same air with me. Yes, you have to do the work.
Okay, but how do you measure that? Because
we measure it by the same formula that we have introduced. So every day you have your offer letter.
Right.
Our offer letter is so comprehensive.
Okay.
It was better using the same SMART goal approach.
Okay.
So you already know your KPIs, you know the goals to set. So every day my employees know that they need to write or minute, this is the problem I'm solving for the organization today, tailored to my offer letter. So that in itself is even a constant training. So there's nothing like, I don't know what to do, and I was waiting for someone to instruct me on what to do, whatever I was waiting for, someone to help me do my job, or because of this person, I'm not able to do my job. Everything that you're doing is tailored to you. You have your own JD, right? So this is the problem you're solving today, and then we measure it bi-weekly, and we measure it weekly, and then bi-weekly, and then at the end of the month.
So if I don't achieve my targets, what happens? I don't get paid?
Yes, if you don't achieve your target. So we also measure it by the same SMART goal approach. Oh, yes, by the same SMART goal approach. Right. So in the organization, we have people, get promoted almost every other month, right? And then we also get those that either fall off or because, it's there. Right? You can't measure. In fact, we have a video 2 days ago, 19th was my birthday. Okay. And I saw the team. Thank you so much. I saw the team, they were doing GMD once said, and then the CEO was like, GMD once said, I can't pay for what I can't measure. Because that's it. That is it. I can't pay for what I can't measure, right? So if you have your offer letter and then so you have, let's say because each goal have like a percentage. Okay. So you have 20%, 20%, 20%, 20%, and 20%. So we tie each percentage to your salary. Right. Right. So if you cover, say, maybe just 2 of your goals, then it means the company is suffering because this 3, there's no key result from this 3. So we'll measure it based on your input. We'll pay you for this one. Oh, yes.
Have people adapted to it?
Yes, they are.
Really?
Oh, yes. They don't have a choice. So it's so beautiful, right? Because it's not... yes, it's digitalized, but it's not automated. Okay. So we give you the room to set your own SMART goal yourself. Okay. So you're the one writing it to say, this is the problem I have solved. Right. This is the problem I want to solve. Right. This is the problem, And then worst part is if you don't submit any report, it means you have not worked.
Fair enough.
Yes, so we are not fighting. You did not submit it. So when you submit it, we'll now look at what you have done. So it's transparent, it's clear,
and everybody understands.
And everybody understands because it doesn't make sense, to expect the organization to bleed out of nowhere. There's a reason why you are there, to help us do the work so that we can make money, so that we can have opportunities, we can, do all of that. So if you're not doing your job, then so the organization don't have a soul, but it can die. Yeah. It's not sustainable if you continue to pay when nothing is coming in. So again, that's why I said people have documents, but they don't implement it. I implement it.
Yours.
Oh, yes. 100%. Okay. I give appraisals, there are bonuses here and there, but the same measure we use in, applying discipline. So we have people that naturally just come and excel. They grow, They grow in the business, grow with the business. But we also have people that when they come, they are not able to
cope with that.
To cope, and then they just
find their level.
It's like going to a Deeper Life church and wearing only you will use your hand and just go. Oh yes.
I like the title. How did we get to do that? How did she get to do
right? Right.
Okay, fantastic. So let's talk now about the future, because you talked about your past, your diaries, your systems and processes. Where do you see this group going?
Where do I see this group?
I mean, what's your next 1 year, 2 years, 5 years? What's it looking like from your end?
Next 5 years would have impacted more people. For me, it's impact would have impacted more people. Expand our network as well. Really expand our network. Be on the same level, hopefully, with, my, I don't know if I should call them mentors now, distant mentors that are mentoring me from afar.
Okay, they don't realize they're mentoring
they don't realize
but they're inspiring.
They're inspiring me.
Right, so people like who inspires you in Nigeria?
Tony Lumilu.
Okay.
Dangote.
Okay.
Okonjo-Iweala.
Hey.
Oh yes, Okonjo-Iweala.
Okay. But she's not an entrepreneur.
No, she's not. But I like her discipline.
Okay.
I like her discipline. I like her quest for knowledge.
Right.
I like, how she's positioned herself to inspire the girl child. Women in general.
Yeah.
Just doing things, and then they know that you were doing it. So yeah, I've just started, but I want to, just occupy space like matter.
Yeah.
In the different fields that I'm currently championing, and make more money. I mean, we should be talking billions and dollars. Yeah. So invest more. Invest more, have more properties, and just continue championing legacy.
Okay. Okay. So talk now to the entrepreneur who's sitting, I don't know where they're sitting. Choose somewhere. Where did you grow up? Okay, which part of Lagos did you grow up in? Ikeja, somewhere in Ikeja?
Ikeja, yes.
Okay, let's say. So sitting
Agege.
Let's go Agege. I like Agege.
Agege.
Sitting in Agege.
Yes.
Looking at this podcast and thinking, can I make it? Can I be like her? What are you saying to that young girl today? She's 11, she's 12, she's 13, she's 17. Talk to her.
If you believe you can do it. I mean, it's not anybody's responsibility to make you become who you are destined to be. It's your responsibility. It's not your dad, it's not your uncle, it's not, I mean, your parents have the responsibility to an extent to just give you education and probably, create platform for you to learn skill, just like my parents did for me. However, you have to do the work. If you don't do the work, there's no shortcut, Even when you do the work, you have to keep on doing the work. It doesn't get easier. It just gets better. And then if I can do it, then you can do it too.
I like that.
Yes.
I like that. That's a good place to end. So, Princess Oghene, who's into fashion, training, real estate, investments, media, awards, just one woman, but with 100-odd staff. I want to say thank you for coming to share some of your story with us. I suspect there's more. I suspect there's a part 2 somewhere. We'll have to just break her down a little bit more so she can give us some of the inside, let me throw back a question at you. Have you ever felt like giving up?
A lot of times. I give up every day, and then I remember that nobody's coming to save me.
Okay.
So I pick myself up again. I pick myself up, and then I just.
Do you think that's an advantage? Like not having anybody to fall back on?
Yes, because when you're pushed to the wall, then you have to survive. Yes. Oh, yes.
And you rely completely on yourself?
Oh, yes. I can't rely on anybody.
Right.
Oh, yes. And I'm training my kids to also be like that. Don't be dependent on me. Be dependent on yourself. That's what my mom did, and that's why I'm who I am today. Yeah. I mean, that is the best option when you train them, to be dependent, because you have resources and all of that. This sort of struggle,
Yeah.
So, yeah, I give up every day. I try to give up every day, but I don't have a choice every day. So I just pick myself up and
Keep moving.
keep moving. But keep moving in the right direction, not just keep moving
Randomly.
to give activities.
Right.
No. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Princess.
Thank you.
Oghene.
Yes.
And we just look forward to seeing more of you as you expand and
Thank
grow.
you. Thank you.
This has been The Builders by Nidacity. If you have not subscribed, please do so. Please talk about us. Please follow us. Please learn from us. But please, most importantly, keep on having the Nigerian audacity to make money in this country. It is possible. It is possible. And I'm going to keep on bringing you people that are doing it and who are teaching and who are sharing. Until next time. Thank you.